We're ready.
Nice to break out of it against the largest in front of the largest crowd in McKechnie Park history.
I was not aware that it was the largest crowd in McKechnie Park history. I was not. So it's always good to win in front of the home team, home crowd, home team, home crowd. It's always good.
Brad Lincoln's changeup. How has it looked to you this spring?
Well, I like the fact that he's throwing it more. It's a pitch he's going to need to start. He's got to have a third pitch. It's got to be a pitch that he can be able to throw in some offensive counts. I thought he got in some good rhythm today at times, and I thought there was a few times when he rushed. He was missing arm side out, arm side up a little bit. Happy the way he pinched off the 1 inning. You know, he stayed out there. It was an extended inning for him, volume of pitches, but the 2 runs scored. He put up the outs after that. So he's working in the right direction, no doubt.
How about having Tabit in center today? Was it Neil was saying that you guys were just using him out there as an experiment in case anything happened with concussion during the year?
Yeah, I wanted to look at it. I actually had him penciled in. That lineup was made up a few days ago, before Andrew, had to come out of the game the other day in the 3rd inning. So, I want to try and explore as many Plan Bs as we might have to run into the season, so we're not doing it on the fly come the season. Jones is going to get some reps at first. Now Balco will get over at first also. Siriaco was at 3rd today. J-Rod will probably get a couple games at 3rd also as we move some people around just to see how much versatility we have. If something would happen in game, do we have the proper adjustments we can make on the fly? So we're not doing it in the Major League game for the first time.
At what point in spring training will you have a more set lineup or begin to play one?
Probably after the 2nd off day. Maybe even before that a little bit. We've got a lot of numbers still in camp trying to get reps, but I would think, with 10 games to go, 8 games to go outside a week, we'll probably try setting that up.
Is that about the time you might name an opening day starter? Start lining that up?
I haven't even thought of the day that I'm going to name an opening day starter yet.
You do have to line it up ahead of time.
Yes, we do, and you know what? We might even have it lined up, and you just don't know. That's about right, though, Jen. Yeah, that's accurate.
You got Olsen and Lionel supposedly making their first start, first appearances tomorrow. You anxious to see them out there?
Very anxious. Anxious for them. Anxious for them to be able to get out and compete. Each one of them had a setback, and they've worked hard to get back in position where they can take them out and make pitches. So, very excited, and hopefully they're not either one of them's too amped up. They'll just go out. They'll throw their pitches. They'll get their work. And one thing we need to focus and ratchet up is our command off the mound. We've got to be more efficient with the number of pitches we're throwing. For the number of pitches we're throwing, we need to be deeper involved in ball games when guys are coming out right now. So that's definitely one of the focus points as we move deeper into spring training.
Have you liked Jose's approach by leading off?
I've really liked his approach leading off. He's shown some discipline. He's had some walks. He can hit the ball the other way. He's a contact. You can use him to hit and run. You use him in various ways. He's got speed when he gets on. So he looks like that's something that he could be able to do.
He's the player that enables you to move Andrew down to the 3rd slot, the 3rd hole that time.
He would be the guy that would enable us to make that move, no doubt, because he's a guy that I don't want to juggle. I want to try and find something I think works and then commit to it for a period of time and let it play out. And I do think one of the things with a younger club, as far as Major League experience goes, continuity. We can lock some guys into some spots, and they're not always. First thing is coming to the lineup, into the game, looking at the lineup, coming to the park, and wondering where they're going to be hitting that day. So we're taking a lot of different looks right now, and that'll slow down a little bit soon.
Traditionally, is this a time in spring training when teams normally have a little bit of a lull?
Well, you can have them. You know what? I've never looked at the calendar date. It always does seem to fall around somewhere in the middle of the month. The other thing, you have challenges now in spring training you never had before. Spring training used to be longer. Now it's not as long. But you go 2 night games, a day game, a split squad game, and a day game. Those things are just, the schedules are just being rearranged. No excuses. It's just a little more challenging from an energy standpoint, even with the volume of players you have. So it happens more often than not, Paul. It really does.
It seemed like you guys were able to get some good at-bats against Beckett in that
We did, and who knows how much we had better at bats, and maybe his Christmas to his pitches because he's building up volume. He's trying to stretch out and go deeper in the game. But he looked pretty sharp early. I got to see him a lot last year. His ability to use the fastball to both sides of the plate, the slow curveball, the changeup. You know, I saw some crispness today that might have eluded him a little bit last year at times. He's a big part of what they got going on. It's always good to face a guy like that in spring training. It's a good challenge. It's a good opportunity for us to see a guy that's done some things in the game, and he's out there. He was out there competing today. He wasn't just getting work.
What are some of the factors that have gone into all the strikeouts you guys have had this spring?
I would think, it could be a couple of things. Number one, how are we getting to 2 strikes? Are we too passive early, taking fastballs? Are we swinging too big during the count and missing pitches to be hit? And then are we actually giving something up with 2 strikes and really shortening up? I mean, you got to look in. You can't just be looking hard or soft. You got to shorten up, protect, maybe get off the knob. It's things we've talked about. We've had a couple games in between this one that we had knocked down the number of strikeouts. Today we got a few more, but we've got work to do in that area. And basically, it's tightening up across the board, being ready to hit when you get in the box. Many times, your pitcher that you're going to face, sometimes, especially a veteran pitcher, a good pitcher, a command pitcher, sometimes that first pitch is the best pitch. So you got to be ready to hit from the start, and then not try and do too much, get outside yourself throughout the at-bat. Then when you get to 2 strikes, shorten up and battle. We've got to improve in all 3 of those areas.
Neil said it's a fine line you walk between trying to get a player to make adjustments and try to stay in his comfort zone.
Well, it depends on if he's got some history to show you that he's got a comfort zone. And the comfort zone you might have at Double-A might not work up here at the major league level. So it's just understanding really what you need to do with the at-bat, how you need to attack the at-bat, and understand that at the end of the day, a strikeout's not just another out. I've actually had hitters tell me that, and from an offensive standpoint, the game, for instance, when we struck out 16 times, the pitcher and catcher played catch for 5 innings. You can talk about it any way you want, but at the end of the day, they played catch for 5 innings. Now you're trying to find a way to score runs with 11 outs. It's very challenging to do. We understand that in there. We were having good conversations. They're getting good work done, but it's definitely an adjustment, I think, for many of them from the way they've gone about it in the past.
Thanks, Clint.
You're welcome.